Did he just call himself the Talon? I would never call him myself.
Groundhog Day's right around the corner, man.
Yes, it is.
3, 2.
It's time to talk about credit and why you never get any. The reason you never get any is Rodney Dangerfield. You probably don't even remember Rodney Dangerfield, but his whole shtick was that he never gets any respect. And you might feel like that too, because that's the #1 reason that you're not able to buy a house these days. That might not be your particular problem, but in terms of the general population, 3 out of 4 people who fail to qualify for a mortgage loan fail because of their credit. So let's talk about credit. Credit, the word credit, comes from a Latin term that meant to believe. And that's essentially what we're talking about. How much a lender believes that you will pay them back. It's that simple. In terms of practical experience for a mortgage loan, what you're looking at is a credit report. And this is a document that's generated by 3 different credit bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And they generate, based on the reports that they get from people that you've contracted to borrow money from, how creditworthy you are, how trustworthy you are in paying your things back. Your credit report is a document that ranges anywhere from 5 or 6 pages to 40 or 50 pages. It's a record of your credit dealings and the transactions that you've made using credit for the last 10 years. It also contains other things like aliases, birthdays, even addresses that you've had in the past. So there's a lot of information contained in this, and we'll go through some of that when we get into the lessons. Whether someone is creditworthy or not depends on a lot of different things. Ray, you remember growing up in that small town, you pull into the gas station and they just fill your car up and put it on your tab?
Yep.
See, that's the kind of credit that we're talking about. You just don't get that kind of credit these days, and I'm relatively sure that the gas station wasn't loaning you $180,000 worth of gas. Am I right?
About $30 a month.
About $30 a month, yeah. Well, we're talking about an order of magnitude different here. On this credit report, you're going to have not only an accounting of each of the creditors that you have contracted with and what your payment history is with them, but also information like what's your credit limit, what your payments were, and those sorts of things. In addition to which, you're going to get what's called a credit score. You'll sometimes hear this referred to as a FICO score. FICO is shorthand for Fair Isaac Corporation, and they're one of the first ones to develop a scoring model for credit. But each of those bureaus has a complex algorithm for figuring out what your credit score is. In theory, the scores range from 350 to 850. But in practice, because even God himself does not have an 850 credit score, you're probably never going to see one of those. And even if you never paid anybody back for the rest of your natural life, you would never be able to get your credit score down to a 350. Believe me, I know people that have tried. So you're probably looking at a window of somewhere between 450 and about 820 as being the margin for your credit. Somewhere in there you become credit worthy, according to underwriters. One of our jobs is to make sure that we hit that point long before you're in a position to actually present this credit profile to an underwriter. That way, the underwriter, when they get the credit report, they clear the credit score immediately. It fits their parameters for the lender being able to have confidence that you'll repay the loan when they make it to you. The second thing they're going to look at is the depth of your credit. What kinds of things do you have on there? Is it a car loan? Is it a home loan? Or is it a credit card? Each of those things has a different impact on your credit score and on your credit worthiness. We need to make sure that the entire profile fits the models that the lenders are looking at so that they have confidence when they lend to you. That way, you can buy not just any home, but your perfect home.
And we're out.
That one went